Circuit City was once the largest and most popular electronics retailer in the United States. Who would believe that from earning $1.6 billion selling big appliances in 1999, it crashed hard and filed for bankruptcy in 2008? Shocking, right? What happened? Well, there's a hidden story behind the scenes. In this video, we'll discuss that story and explain 5 reasons and mistakes that led to Circuit City's downfall. So stick around to the end because there are some important lessons for anyone in the business world, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, it's essential to learn how Circuit City originated and ruled over the electronic world before closing more than 500 stores and going bankrupt. We will discuss its downfall soon in this video. Origin and rise. In 1949, Samuel Wurtzel stumbled upon the beginning of television in the South while chilling at a Richmond, Virginia barbershop. Seeing the potential, he made a move, packed up his family, and launched the world's first company retail store in Richmond later that year. Abraham L. Hecht jumped in as partner, adding more firepower to the business. By 1959, they had 4 TV and home appliance stores in Richmond. Their impressive growth expanded to places like Albany, New York, Mobile, Alabama, Washington, D.C., and Costa Mesa, California. They even dabbled in mail-order sales as Dixie Hi-Fi during the 70s and 80s. In Richmond, Ward's played around with different retail setups like smaller Sight and Sound and Circuit City outlets and malls. Samuel Wurtzel led the company until 1970, as chairman until 1984. Then came Alan Wurtzel, his son, taking charge as CEO in 1972, focusing on tightening things up and dropping less profitable ventures. Their big move in 1973 was mapping out a long-term strategy and building a distribution center and corporate offices in Richmond. It led to the birth of Ward's Loading Dock, a warehouse showroom that customers loved when it opened in 1975. Riding high on this success, the Circuit City Superstore came alive in 1978, rolling out the popular format in North Carolina on June 22nd. Evolution into Circuit City. In 1984, Ward's company waved goodbye and got a brand new identity as Circuit City Stores Incorporated. They made this big debut on the New York Stock Exchange, and things started to change. You might have heard their catchy slogan, Circuit City, where the streets are paved with bargains. Yep, that was them, promising the best deals in town. These guys were real wizards at transforming old spaces into vibrant Circuit City superstores. They took over spots previously leased from Zodi's discount stores and other departments, giving them a whole new life. Places like Knoxville, Tennessee, Charleston, South Carolina, and Hampton, Virginia got a Circuit City makeover and became buzzing hubs for electronics. Rolling into the New York City scene in 1981 seemed like a big win at first. Circuit City snagged the remaining stores of the Lafayette radio chain, aiming high with 15 locations, but those stores just didn't turn a profit, and after spending a hefty $20 million, they had to shut down in 1986. Growth spurts and signature towers. In 1985, Circuit City shook things up in Los Angeles. They swung open 7 superstores in what used to be the Akron discount stores. 1988 was the year they went all futuristic with the plug design for their superstores. There was that juicy opportunity to buy out Best Buy for $30 million. But surprise, Circuit City CEO said nope. They thought they could swoop into Best Buy's home turf in Minneapolis and outshine them without buying them out. And remember their top-notch service? That's what they were known for. Their crew was factory trained, and their slogan screamed, "Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state-of-the-art." Changes and challenges. Come the new millennium, Circuit City leaped new store formats. They switched gears from those superstore showrooms in 2000 and introduced the more self-service Horizon format. They cleared space for smaller electronics, waving goodbye to those bulky appliances. In 2000, they ditched the large appliance business, even though they were the second largest appliance retailer in the United States just a year earlier, raking in $1.6 billion in sales. Why? They were sweating over Home Depot and Lowe's competition, and thought they'd save big by leaving the appliance game. That decision made them miss out big time on the housing boom in the mid-2000s when everyone was buying new appliances like crazy. The fall and bankruptcy. November 4th, 2008, rang in with bleak news from Circuit City. They were shutting down 155 stores and giving the boot to 17% of their workforce by year end. It was a tough time for them, trying hard to keep the money train running but struggling to stay in the green. Then came November 7th, and they axed between 500 and 800 corporate folks from their Richmond, Virginia headquarters. The remaining 1,000 or so employees got squeezed into one building, all in the name of slashing costs and trying to turn things around. The knockout punch landed on November 10th, 2008. Circuit City filed for bankruptcy protection under Chapter 11. Their stock nosedived below $1 a share, booting them right out of the New York Stock Exchange. It was a sad time for a company that once thrived. Circuit City snagged a cool $1.1 billion in the bankruptcy ring to keep their gears turning while they figured out a new game plan. But turns out they owed a whopping $2.32 billion with big debts to Hewlett-Packard and Samsung Electronics. Still, their CEO promised the stores would stay open and swore they wouldn't go bust. Things got weirder. On November 18th, 2008, news broke that Ricardo Salinas Pliego, who owned Mexican TV broadcaster TVS Teca and the Electrica electronics store chain, swooped in and grabbed 28% of Circuit City. A glimmer of hope, maybe? But January 10th, 2009 brought with it a tense ultimatum. Circuit City needed a buyer or they'd close shop. Two mystery suitors were peaking, but alas, no takers. So they switched their bankruptcy to Chapter 7, sounding the going out of business alarms and starting the long goodbye. Liquidation sales kicked in, and by March 8th, 2009, it was curtains for all Circuit City stores. It was a total bummer, with over 30,000 people, and a huge chunk of Verizon's Circuit City sales team lost their jobs in the chaos. They closed up shop and handed over reins for liquidation to Great American Group LLC, Hudson Capital Partners LLC, SB Capital Group LLC, and Tiger Capital Group LLC. And just like that, by March 9th, 2009, the liquidation showdown was over, making the end of an era for the once giant electronics retailer. 5 biggest mistakes made by Circuit City. Now, let's get into those 5 mistakes made by Circuit City that eventually became the reasons for its downfall. Stick around for the last one because that's a step many businesses are afraid to take. Number 5, loss of talented management. When Circuit City spun off its automotive sales division, CarMax, in 2000, it also lost a lot of talented management. These managers had been instrumental in the company's success, and their departure left a void that was never filled. The loss of this management expertise had a ripple effect throughout Circuit City's operations. Without the guidance and leadership of these experienced individuals, the company struggled to make sound strategic decisions, adapt to the changing retail landscape, and maintain a competitive edge in the industry. The departure of these managers also led to a decline in morale and motivation among Circuit City's remaining employees. Number 4, lagging innovation compared to Best Buy. Circuit City lagged behind as Best Buy soared with innovation strategies, playing catch-up rather than leading the charge. Circuit City became reactive instead of proactive and missed crucial opportunities to set industry trends. This lack of innovation was evident in several Circuit City operation areas. The company failed to develop new products or services that would appeal to customers, falling behind Best Buy in offering cutting-edge electronics and appliances. Additionally, Circuit City failed to keep up with the latest trends in retail, such as the rise of e-commerce and the increasing importance of customer experience. As a result of its reactive and uninnovative approach, Circuit City lost ground to Best Buy and struggled to attract and retain customers. Customers were drawn to Best Buy's innovative products, services, and shopping experiences, while Circuit City's offerings became increasingly outdated and unappealing. It made them seem outdated, losing the allure that once drew customers, ultimately undermining their competitiveness. Number 3, impersonal and oversized stores. Circuit City's stores grew so large that they lost their personal feel and became impersonal. These stores, which were too large and impersonal, could not successfully engage with their target audience. They went from being welcoming to intimidating, completely missing the mark on the goal of providing a pleasant shopping experience for the customer. This change turned off customers who preferred a more human touch than what they found at Circuit City's massive impersonal stores. Number 2, rapid store expansion and neighborhood missteps. Circuit City tried to impress Wall Street by opening many new stores quickly, but it didn't work out. In their haste, they opened too many shops in sketchy areas, hurting sales and how people thought of the brand. Because they were focused on numbers, they forgot about the important factor of site viability. This mistake cost Circuit City a lot of money because it left them with stores that weren't doing well, which used up resources when the economy was bad. Number 1, dumping popular appliances. Circuit City's choice to toss out those top-notch appliances was a real kick in the gut. Can you believe they ditched everything everyone wanted? Like fridges and washing machines? It was like cutting off their cash flow. Sales took a nosedive, and they lost a mind-boggling $1.6 billion in just 1 year from booting out those appliances. That's like tossing away a gold mine. Now imagine how shoppers felt. They walked into Circuit City looking for those reliable appliances, only to find them gone. Cue the frustration. Customers were more than just annoyed, they were furious. Circuit City had been the go-to spot for these products, and suddenly it's like they yanked the rug out from under everyone. It wasn't just a dent in their sales, but a punch to their reputation, leaving them with a black mark that was hard to scrub off. Now the question here is, what happened next? Is Circuit City coming back? Yes, it bounced back in 2016 under Ronnie Schmoell's leadership. Yes, they revived the brand and went online in 2018, teasing about stores within stores on their website. By early 2019, Circuit City hinted at opening retail storefronts nationwide via their robust website, boasting many products. They even joined forces with H2 Motorsports to sponsor a NASCAR race car, committed to reviving their brand visibility. On November 14th, 2023, Circuit City made big announcements about its Series A funding round and smart partnerships with companies nationwide. These relationships, called Powered by Circuit City, wanted to change the way people shop for electronics today by combining their knowledge and global brand recognition with other platforms, both online and in-store. A unique store-in-store idea is at the heart of these partnerships. Circuit City has assembled a carefully chosen collection of gadgets for customers of well-known national brands to look at and buy. These new businesses will help Circuit City reach more people and offer customers a better mix of goods and cutting-edge technology. It's a big step towards changing the way people shop for electronics. Now, let's see if it'll work out for Circuit City in the long run, and something else is waiting to come. What are your thoughts about Circuit City? What lessons did you learn from their mistakes? Do let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.